Greetings to another video. Today I wanted to share with you some of the extra measures and the things that I do if I'm going to do like a long ride on my own, and some of these tips are female specific and the others are for us all that want to go out and ride bikes on our own. And I just wanted to add that I just feel like that as women we are told from such a young age that we should be scared, extra cautious to go out and do things on our own. And I would be naive to say that there's not a risk in doing some of the rides and doing some of the things that I do on my own. However, there's a risk and a danger to pretty much doing anything. So yeah, I'm just going to share them and hopefully they will help. Because for me anyway, going and doing these things on my own, I'll go into the video in a minute, sorry, but going and doing those things on my own make me feel so much more empowered and strong and capable. So I think there's a lot to be said for being able to go and do these things on your own. But right, let's get into the first tip. So the first one is planning the route. You know what? I love planning a route, but for me, I will always avoid canals. I don't personally think canals are safe. Maybe that's because I'm from the UK or I'm in the north. I just don't feel safe on them. So I will do everything I can to avoid riding on a canal if I'm by myself, just because you get unsavoury characters, shall we say, on there. And I just feel like I feel quite trapped on a canal. If something's there and you can't get past, there's nowhere to go. Whereas on a road, I feel like I've got more options. So for me, I avoid canals. The other part of like the route planning thing is I will always share the GPX of where I'm going to ride with family, friends, loved one. Like I will always share it with somebody so that someone knows exactly where I'm planning to go and also what time I'm expected to be at some of those points. And I'll always just drop them a message being like, yep, I'm here, just so that people are aware that I'm okay, that everything's going fine. And there are options actually on Garmin and Wahoo, I think, that you can do like a live track option. And if you don't have either of those, you can actually do it on WhatsApp, so you can share like your live location. However, I guess the thing with that is you need to make sure that you've got sufficient like battery and battery packs to be able to power that. So that is an option if you do have the power for it. The next thing is being as self-sufficient as you possibly can be at fixing your own mechanicals. And I know I definitely can't fix everything that could potentially go wrong with my bike, but I can do the basics. So I would say the basics are fixing a flat, fixing a burst tire and a snapped chain. So they are the main things that I would say. And I still need to learn to do some of the other stuff as well. I want to add to that because I don't ever want to be stranded somewhere, and it just makes you very vulnerable. So especially if it's at night or you know you're in the middle of nowhere, I just think it makes me feel more vulnerable anyway. So I'm actually gonna do that. I might even do a video series about it, me learning more mechanical knowledge. So yeah, I might do that actually. So yeah, just try and make sure that you can fix your bike in a couple of different scenarios. I'm going to leave a link to the videos because if I can learn to do it, you 100% can. So I'll leave a link to those videos below. The next one, this is more specific if you're doing night riding or if you're riding it in like winter or bad weather, is making sure that you've got really good lights and also backup lights in case the battery goes or in case the light is faulty. Because it can happen and you just want to make sure that you're visible at all times. And then linking on to visibility is, again, if you're in the dark or you're in low light situations, is making sure that you've got clothing that is visible. So I always wear, not always actually, but the majority of the time I'll wear something that's like this, like a high vis kind of, even if it's a harness or if it's a gilet. This is the Pro Vis one. Just so that I always think they're really handy as well, because if lights go, a car will always be able to see you, not always, but are more likely to see if you've got something that's reflective. So it's almost like an extra backup if lights do fail. Right, the next tip, one of the reasons that I do this is a little bit dark, but I'll explain why. So the next thing is wearing an ID wristband. These are amazing. I bought this as a present And it's just like a rubber wristband, and it's got like a little metal plate that's got my name, date of birth, and 2 emergency contacts. And then you can also add on there like any medication that you're on in case you do crash, or paramedics come and they want to know who you are. So I think that's really important to have. And the other reason that I wear this specifically on long solo rides, especially in the night, is there's no way around saying this, is if for whatever reason I'm on my own and there's always potential for something bad to happen, but if the worst happens and I get, try and get forced into a car or a van or something just awful like that, like touch wood that never happens, that I always have this, so that, sorry, itchy nose, that I always think that I can kind of pull it off and drop it. Like that's always like in my head that that's what I would do, because I would want someone to know that that's where I was, if that makes sense. And I know that's really dark, but I'm just being honest, and that's one of the reasons why I wear it. Another thing that I do, I guess these other two are female specific. So the other thing that I'll do is at night when I'm on my own riding, and I should just add that I actually feel really safe on my own at night. I just think there's less cars, so it's a lot less busy. But then with that comes a thing of, you always just think, what if there's an axe murderer roaming around? And I think it's just our brains just do that. But I've always felt quite safe at night, and I think the fear of doing it is actually worse than it is. However, in the night, I always tuck my hair into my jacket or my gilet, just because it's, I don't know whether I think it is that thing of like, we're just taught as females not to do these things on our own. And I think anything that I can kind of take the obvious nature that I'm a girl on my own, then I'm gonna do it. So I just tuck it in. So yeah, and you can probably tell by my body shape that I'm female, but it's just one extra thing that I just think, no, I'll just tuck it away. And I was telling one of my lad friends about this, and he was so shocked. He's like, I can't believe you do that. It's like, I've never thought that as a male who rides on my own at night. I would never even think that, but I guess that's the extra measures that women take to feel a little bit safer, I guess. And then the other thing that I'll do is if I need to stop for a wee in the night, I will always pull over to the side of the road, go into a field or something, but I'll always turn my lights off, just because I don't want to draw attention to myself when I'm in a position where I'm literally, my pants are around my ankles and I can't really do a lot. So I always turn my lights off, and I'll just take my phone just to kind of guide me there, but just to try and be as, discreet as possible. If you have any tips or suggestions for riding solo, then leave them in the comments. And I just want to add as well, like, don't be put off. I'm just being really brutally honest of the things that I do and things that help me feel a little bit safer when I'm riding on my own. So yeah, don't be put off, because I think at the end of the day, you've got to do what you enjoy doing and you love doing it. And I love solo endurance rides. I love them, and I'm not going to stop doing them. But you do have to just be aware that things can go wrong. So, but then things can go wrong any day, wherever you are, any time of the day. So yeah, I hope this video was helped. Like I say, any comments, suggestions, leave them in the comments, and I will see you all next video.